All right. We are starting day three of our Nuzlocke. Ultramoon Deathless Nuzlocke. We're doing this on a Saturday at like 1 p.m., which is good. I have to go to work later, so I will probably only be here for like an hour, maybe a little bit more. So it depends on if we lose today. So today, let's do this. So today is going to be, we just beat Captain Elima, which is great. We got very lucky on this last route, finding a Furfrou. So our current team, I think we have, yeah, 5 encounters so far. Okay, Percy. Think we have about 5 encounters so far. So we have Furfrou, who is our newest encounter. It's a bad nature, but that's okay. That's not too big of a deal. Furfrou is a very, very good, uh, like very defensive Pokemon, which is what we really care about at the moment. Oh, come on, bud. Thank you. Furfrou is a very defensive Pokemon, which is what we care about at the moment. Having Furfrou Furfrou can't win you the totem fight, but Furfrou can definitely make the totem fight a little bit easier. It would be even better if we'd gotten the Alolan Grimer. If you get Alolan Grimer and Furfrou, basically you send out the Alolan Grimer to poison the Raticate and then tank as many hits with Alolan Grimer as you can, and then you switch to Furfrou, um, and you get really good. And Furfrou will basically keep you for the rest of the fight. But we weren't that lucky. Um, Along with Furfrou, we also have Blub, who is not going to be super useful. He may tank 1 hit, but unless the other Pokemon is burned or poisoned, that won't make a big difference. We have Percy. Percy is currently at the level cap, so we're going to take Percy completely out of our team because he is fairly useful for the Eradicate. He is tanky enough to be able to tank a couple hits. We have Quack. Quack will also be taken out as we're at the level cap. Quack is not going to be very useful, just not defensive enough to be able to tank very many hits. Alolan Meowth, we will keep in, and we will probably lead with Alolan Meowth as it has the fake out. The problem is that the Raticate that we fight as the first totem Pokemon or the first trial Pokemon is Dark type, and so we can't really take advantage of Bite, which is what we would want to use with Meowth. So, and that's all right. We knew that this was going to be the case. We knew that we were going to be kind of in a uh, tough-ish spot. So, the beauty of Island 1 is that so the next encounter, we have, I think, 4 more encounters. We may even have four more encounters before Island 1. And maybe it's only 3. It may only be 3. But either way, so we have 3 to 4 more encounters for before the totem Pokemon. And the positive of this, the positive is that there is the ability to get Makuhita. So Makuhita is a fighting type, and part of the reason I choose to do Ultra Moon is because the Pokemon that you'll fight against is or the first trial Pokemon is an Alolan Raticate, which is normal and dark type. That's a 4 times weakness to fighting type. So if you get Makuhita, you are almost guaranteed to beat the first trial. So we really, really today we want to get really lucky and we want to get that Makuhita. Whether or not we're going to get Makuhita, Makuhita is one of the most rare encounters on the next route. So it is very unlikely we get him. In fact, I would say we are most likely for our next encounter. We'll come back and get the stickers later. So I'd say that our most likely next encounter is going to be um, probably Alolan Rattata or Ekans. It's possible for it to be Abra as well. It's possible for it to be Dunsparce. It's possible for it to be Growlithe, I believe. Growlithe is not bad, but again, Growlithe is useful later, not really right now. And we really, really care about right now. Um, this upcoming battle and then the Kahuna after are genuinely difficult battles, so we want to try to get lucky. I don't think you can get Halucha here. So Halucha is a very rare encounter on Island 1, and I believe it's only available after the trial. So if we beat the trial, then we'll. Oh, I did the wrong one. Um, so it is the third choice here. Grab it by the horns. Um, so yes, so the goal is right now to get Makuhita. If we get Makuhita, great, we're chilling. The goal next after the trial, if we beat it, is to get um, Halucha. Those are two very, very, very rare encounters. And Furfru, which is one of the rarer encounters we got, is actually not very rare. He's just kind of uncommon to get. So if you go throughout that area, maybe 40% of the time you'll find a Furfru, which is good. Okay, we have to beat this trainer. I do not remember what this trainer has. Um, I don't know. So we don't want that grass patch. I tend to like to do this encounter way ahead. You could make an argument that you can split this encounter in two, and so you get four encounters in this like general area. Oh, it's just a Cutiefly. That's fine. I don't do that because um, I think it makes it a little too likely for you to find an out to the totem Pokemon. Um, so I mean, like I guess my point is in any other Pokemon game, this route probably would have been separated in the two sections that I'll show you later. But in this game, it's not, and so we're not going to consider it separated. But we are going to be able to get a ghost type, which is definitely what we want. We are really excited to try for, I believe out of all the ghost types we can get, I want to say oh, okay, so we got Headbutt for Sodium. That's super good. Very strong attack, especially with the stab, the same type attack bonus, which is super nice. So out of the ghost types in the next area that we're going to go to, I believe that what we want the most is probably Drifloon. Um, I forget if you can find Misdreavus. I don't think you can. I think it's mostly Drifloon, Alolan Rattata, and Ghastly. Ghastly would be fine. Let's make sure we have Pokeballs. I think we do because I don't think it took very much to. Yeah, we have six Pokeballs, four Great Balls. That should be enough. It didn't take very much to get Furfru. We got him first try. So there are a couple trainers that we could battle, but I kind of want us to get our encounters first. There is a TM over here that we can go get, and we'll probably get our encounter. Okay, so this is our next encounter. Let's see what it is. Oh, Murkrow, that's right. Murkrow is actually very useful. Murkrow has a pretty high catch rate, or has a pretty low catch rate, though. So we're gonna have to be really careful. We also need to be careful not to kill the Murkrow. Let's hope this does. Okay, that did a little more than I wanted. So Murkrow's good because Murkrow is fairly tanky. Um, I don't think you can get a Dusk Ball until late, so we wouldn't be able to evolve it until late. But any Pokemon that can tank dark moves for the upcoming trial is good. And obviously, none of the wow, it would really suck if we do not catch this Murkrow. Come on, stay in the ball. Okay, let's see. We can probably send out Grubbin, Blub. And Bite should be fine to use. Unfortunately, I don't have any status Pokemon. So if you put a status on a Pokemon, it makes... Oh, that's lovely. Let's hope that doesn't do too much damage. It didn't do too much damage. We're gonna have to switch out after this, hoping... Okay. Um, we'll bring out Tay. It's fine. I guess we have to hope that this doesn't have Pursuit. It does. So we're going to call dying against a Pokemon. Um, of course it has pursuit. That's really annoying. So we're not going to call this a reset because this is again a choice, but what we are going to call it is a failed encounter. So I now no longer, because I had a Pokemon die against an optional encounter, um, we're just going to have to kill this, and it's not going to count as a possible encounter, which sucks. But you lose encounters sometimes, and I would prefer not to call this a reset, because it is optional the way that grinding is optional. So, unideal. We lose the ability to get the Murkrow. I sh probably should have known that it had pursuit and should have thought of that before, but here you go. You live, you learn. We don't make that mistake again. Okay, so we lose the encounter for this area. That sucks. We'll just do the encounter here because we're gonna have to do a couple Pokemon battles, and I would prefer to just have our encounters set. Smeargle. That's terrible. I did not even know you could get Smeargle here. Um, can we make Smeargle work is the question. This is a problem because, okay, so the way Smeargle works is he has this move called Sketch. And Smeargle can learn any move that's used against him. Get caught. Ah, Jesus. Smeargle also has a pretty low encounter rate or low catch rate, and he only has one PP for Sketch. So now he's going to start hurting himself. This is really unlucky. So what I'm going to look for and what I'm going to try to think about is whether or not, there we go. Okay, really quickly, what element is Smeargle? So Smeargle can become other things, not very malleable. We'll call Smeargle gold, right? Gold's pretty malleable. Not because he's a great encounter. He might be a better encounter than I'm thinking, but he definitely is not Makuhita. So we've now lost the capacity to have Makuhita on our team. Um, are there any Pokemon? The question is are there any Pokemon with fighting type moves? Oh, well, we have an attack down nature anyways, so oh wow, this is a terrible encounter. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to do some thinking. So what we could do is we could go try to find a Makuhita, and if we do find the Makuhita, use like it's gonna attack Smeargle likely with a fighting type move, and then Smeargle can learn the fighting type move with Sketch. The problem is that Smeargle is going to be faster than Makuhita, so I don't know that it's gonna work well. Let's see. What level does or Smeargle learn set Gen 7? Let's see when it learns its different sketches. So its next sketch is at level 11. So it can learn two moves before the level cap. Okay, so we get two chances to learn a fighting type move because that's about the only way that Smeargle is going to be useful. So, are there any Pokemon that we can encounter, or any trainers that we can encounter with fighting type Pokemon? I don't know. I guess we can fight this kid and see if he has a fighting type Pokemon. I'm almost certain he doesn't. I want to say he has a bug type, but I don't actually know what he has. Drifloon. Okay, I don't believe there's anything Drifloon could know that I care about here. So we're going to switch to Blub. We also need to be really careful about levels right now. Hmm. We may have to overlevel one of our Pokemon. Yeah, we definitely don't want Astonish. Astonish is not helpful at all, but Blub can use Bite. Yeah, I'm almost certain we're gonna have to just like give up a Pokemon to overlevel. Wow, this is becoming like genuinely bad. I'm starting to get to the feeling that we are that's good to remember. I'm starting to get to the feeling that we are not going to be able to beat this Alolan Raticate. Um, hmm. I think. Okay, so we're gonna have to take a detour over here, and we have to go. We can get an encounter up here, but we also have to fight Team Rocket or Team Skull. Should we go try to, let's go try to teach Smeargle a fighting type move. I think that would be pretty useful. So let's go see if we can find a Makuhita encounter. Drowsy, that's not good. I'm glad we didn't get Drowsy. Drowsy is much worse an encounter than Smeargle. So we're basically just going to run until we find a Makuhita, and then we're going to find out. I think that that Pokemon is a Ekans always. Another Smeargle. Maybe it's because it's nighttime. Maybe I normally play this area while it's daytime. I did not remember that Smeargle was one of the possible encounters. Okay. Um, we'll let this thing attack us. I believe it's Ekans. Hmm. Yeah. We don't care about Ekans. Ekans is not very useful. I mean, Intimidate is very useful of an ability because it lowers attack, and there's no doubt that that's true. And so one could argue that he's not a bad. Um, okay, so we are now wrapped. This kind of sucks. Right. Are we just going to lose our sketch? I feel like we're going to have to just lose our sketch, but that's going to sketch wrap, and I don't care about wrap. Wow, that really fucked us over. I think we're going to have to just lose. Oh, okay. Wait, y'all. We just did something. On accident, we have sketched Poison Sting. This allows us to poison the Raticate. I did not, I did not mean to do that. But this is excellent. And we will still get one more sketch that we can attempt to use on I need to be freed from the wrap. We can still get one more sketch that we can attempt to use on a Makuhita. Um, can I just get freed from the wrap? Good Lord. I think I should get freed this round. Okay, there we go. We'll just kill this so that we can train. Wow. Okay, after this we must get Furfrou out of our party because especially if we're gonna try poison strat on the Raticate, we need Furfrou. Okay. Um, we'll just try to kill. So, okay. The reason we did that, again, we need gold to be level 12, um, so that he is as tanky as he can be. Oh, I have no idea what that would be. Poison Barb. I think that ups poison type moves. I forget. We're gonna go heal up. We're gonna go put Furfrou in the box. Um, we are going to allow Blub to over level, and we're gonna keep Meowth in, assuming that Meowth is nowhere close to over leveling. So the problem is that we need to fight. I believe that we only have to fight one. Okay, so that should be good. That should be good. Okay, so we have to fight one Drowsy. Um, and in fact, really and truthfully, we are going to get Blub out, not because he's good, but if we can help overlevel, like not overlevel other Pokemon, that is ideal. Let's go see if we can buy a Great Ball. We got given Great Balls. I hope we can just buy them. We cannot. We'll just get 10. Um, okay. Sorry. So next, we're gonna have to go to a beach. We're gonna get an encounter. I believe that we hope the encounter is Psyduck. Um, I believe that that is what we hope the encounter is. So we're gonna go fight. We hope that we find Psyduck. And then we have to fight Team Skull. So Team Skull is uh they use one Drowsy, and the Drowsy's not difficult. However, I kind of didn't want to use Blub because Blub is pretty weak, and while I'm pretty sure it can take a Drowsy out, I am a touch concerned that it's going to get beaten by the Drowsy. But just to minimize the amount of leveling we have to do, let's go get this encounter. So you can get Zubat or Psyduck. Psyduck is definitely the better of the two, so let's hope for that. Okay. Psyduck is the worst of the two long term, but for this Raticate, it is definitely the better of the two. Um, I'm gonna switch just to make sure that I don't get killed. Okay, let's see. So we're gonna use Fake Out just because it's gonna get us a little bit of damage, and then we'll use that. Okay, so we definitely can't use another attack. I think this should be fine. Psyduck should be fairly easy to catch. Um, I guess that we'll find out. Okay, good. Phenomenal. Um, that's good. So this is the better of the encounters. So we are very happy with the Psyduck encounter. And that's because in the cave where you do the first trial, you get the TM for Brick Break. And not many Pokemon are able to learn Brick Break that you can find around here. But one that is Psyduck. And so that will make him um, much better. We're gonna call him Manganese. Okay. And so we will check. Technically, I guess that we want Manganese to have an attack up nature, although that's only for this battle. And I suppose if we wanted to use him later, we would want him to have, okay, well, neutral. That's fine. Damp is pretty good. So Damp makes it so that he is not affected by um, moves that like blow up. So like self-destructing moves. And self-destructing moves can end these runs, these deathless runs. So ideally, we do not want to have to see them, and having a Pokemon that can just tank them is good. Um, we don't care all that much right now because there are not many Pokemon in Gen 7 that can explode. But okay, I believe we talked to her. And then we try to leave, and now we have to fight the grunts. I love the way Team Skull walks. Um, wait, let's see if they do it. They have like a specific walk. Pokemon between Gen 7 and Gen 8 got super interested in like rap, like stereotypical early 2000s, like hip hop moves. Like look at them. It's so interesting. So this and the next group like are really into that and it's so random to me. Like I'm so curious as to why they did. Um but it does make for very mm, emotive villains, which is fun. So, okay, so here comes the drowsy. So, I don't see a point in fighting with gold because gold is underleveled and also, well, I guess they're the same level, but poison sting is not really going to do much. So we're just going to switch straight uh to Tay. And this drowsy should not give enough EXP to make us overleveled, which is good. I would start with fake out, but bite should be plenty strong to kill. So that was nice and easy, and we did not have to worry. Gold goes to 10, which is great, exactly what we want. And in the end, we did not have to worry about this battle because we had a dark type, which is great. And I don't think you fight the other one. Yeah, you don't. You only have to fight one of them. Okay. There is no, so the cave technically and the beach are two separate areas. However, in this game, you can only fish in very specific places, and we don't have a fishing rod. And what that means is that there's actually no encounter on the beach. And I think there's only one beach in the entire game, one of like these main beaches in the entire game where you actually can get a single encounter. And that's because it's a gift Pokemon. Over here is a white herb. This item is pretty useful. So basically, it's a single use item, so you can only use it one time, but one time that you attempt to um, sorry, one time that you attempt to, or one time that you use a move or a stat of yours gets lowered, the white herb is consumed and the stat is no longer lowered, which is very good. Okay, so this trainer is exceptionally difficult. So we are definitely not going to fight him. Like exceptionally, exceptionally difficult. I'm very, very hard. So we're not going to fight him. We're going to go back here. We're going to grab this sticker. Like I said, we're not trying to get every sticker. Like I've already missed maybe like four that I could have gotten. And we'll come back for them at a later time. But what we are going to do is right over here are some berries. So we got an Uron berry. So that raises our attack or raises our HP. We got a person berry. I believe that if we get confused, that takes us out of confusion. What we want is a citrus berry. We didn't get one. They're pretty rare. Citrus berries refill like a third of your missing HP. And so they're really good late game. They're just okay. They're like about usually at the same like level as an Oron berry here. Um, I don't believe we fight them for a while. I think the first time we fight them is after Trial 2. So, okay, so as you can see, this almost feels like a new area, but it's technically not. So unfortunately, we don't get an encounter here. There have been times where I've played Nuzlocks where I separate these two and allow myself an extra encounter. Um, I don't, I just don't really feel like we should do that. Um, I think we're good enough here. And I think it potentially makes it a little too easy to get a free encounter. We have missed an encounter now, which sucks, but you know, I'm sure we'll miss quite a few more. Pokemon in this game tend to have really good moves like Pursuit. So actually, Gen 7 and Gen 5 are like obsessed with Pokemon having Pursuit. And so the way that Pursuit works is if you try to switch your Pokemon out and the opponent uses Pursuit, it does double damage and hits you before you switch. Um, Pursuit specifically, the attack Pursuit makes the Kahuna fight, the final fight of this island, very difficult. because his last Pokemon, despite being a fighting type, has Pursuit. Um, excuse me. And so he can deal a lot of damage. Okay, so we've rested up our Pokemon. I'm pretty sure. Oh, you know what we can get here, though? I believe we can get nest balls. So these balls are really good for catching Pokemon that are under level 30 specifically, but it's really, really good if it's under level 20. Oh, this is going to make me do this Rotom lottery. So I talked about this in the first episode, but basically from time to time we'll get the ability to do this spin, and it's just going to give us a power up that we can optionally use at different times. The ones that are in battle, so like Roto Boost, you can use in battle, and it boosts your stats. We obviously cannot use those. But the ones that you can use outside of the battle, you can use. So Rotom EXP points, which gives us extra EXP. Rotom Stealth, which makes it so that we can't find, or we're less likely to encounter Pokemon. Like all of those are fine so long as they're not something you use like directly in battle. It'll make sense. Basically, as long as it doesn't make battles easier, it's fine. We need to take Meowth out because we don't want to overlevel Meowth. And basically, at this point, we are ready to do the totem fight. We're not ready. We have all of the encounters that we're going to be able to have for our totem fight. Okay. We just want to get these last two Pokemon up to level 12. So we need to do a little bit of grinding. Grinding is going to be a little bit difficult with these two Pokemon, as neither of them are particularly good at the moment. So we're going to get attacked by a fighting type, which maybe we should have saved this for uh, later, but it's fine. So again, we're grinding, so all of this is optional. It's not an encounter, so if Pokemon die, they die. Um, what we're probably going to have to rely on is getting a Poison Sting. Great. Getting a Poison Sting kill or a Poison Sting poison and then just outliving, but obviously that is not going to happen here. We are actually, I'm coming to the realization, going to need, uh, what's it called? This is not going to do much damage. We'll try to do this, but I don't believe that this is going to work. So we're going to have to sacrifice and overlevel a Pokemon in order to grind these levels, which is super unideal, and it'll become less of a problem once we're like at a later state. I imagine this is going to be the only time we have to do this. Maybe another time, like on, yeah. Mm, that sucks. So that's just gonna send us back to the Pokemon Center. Yeah, we're just gonna have to sacrifice and overlevel a Pokemon in order to let these Pokemon get to higher levels. Neither of them have good enough moves at this level to allow us to efficiently grind. So we are going to sacrifice. Blub has 36 HP and 16 defense, 34 HP and 16 defense. Hmm. The question is who is less useful? Well, really and truthfully, I think no matter what, Quack is the least useful. Let's hope that Quack is far from 13. 186, 229, 48. That's not ideal. Who is the furthest from their next level? 178, 388, 82, 235. Okay, it's going to be Blub for now, and we're just going to try to keep Blub from overleveling, and we'll see if we can do that. Um, yeah. Okay. There are some trainers that we can grind on. One is right over here that we skipped. That Murkrow would have been very useful for grinding right now. Labebe is fine. And we have the EXP share on, so our other Pokemon will be getting some of the EXP we get from here. Okay. Okay, Manganese learned Water Gun, which is very good for us. I think Manganese needs to be like level 9 before it can probably freely um train with us. The hell? So back in the ghost area, there are a few more trainers we can fight. That item up there is a great ball. I guess we could go get it later. From what I remember, I don't think this is anything super useful. Yeah. Okay. Fighting a picky peck is not great to do with Blub, but I'm sure that it'll be fine. I'm pretty sure Blub can tank one peck. Yeah, it can tank a few. Okay, great. So we're not concerned about this. Okay, Peck dies. That should give us some good EXP. Maybe not. Maybe I'm lying. Great. And I think there's one more. I think this little girl you can fight. The assumption is she would have a. Why do I feel like she has like an Eevee or something? Am I wrong? No, Happini. Okay. Um, Happini should be easy to kill and should give very good EXP because it's part of the Chansey line. Okay, I think if we want to make sure that Blub does not overlevel, I think at this point we're gonna have to put Blub away, which is fine. Because I think Blub will actually be usable if we can poison the Raticate, which is a tall order. But maybe we'll get really lucky. So basically, when you use Poison Sting, it's a 50-50 shot to poison the opponent. So we will be relying on RNG to poison the Eradicate. I don't actually know that Smeargle can live a single attack from Eradicate. So that's like its own question that we're going to have to deal with at some point. But I think for now, we're going to assume that it'll be fine. Uh, and just hope. One other thing we can do really quickly is, okay, Smeargle cannot learn any TMs. So Smeargle is not going to be able to learn, what's it called? Brick Break, which you could imagine Smeargle learning, but that's all right. So we need to take Blub out before we go train. That's not what I meant to do. And then we just need to get up 4 levels on the Psyduck. And I think we'll keep Psyduck in for now, because I think Psyduck will be more useful to train than with Smeargle. Kate, we're gonna let the Smeargle. Oh, the Smeargle went first, so it didn't even get to Sketch. Oh, that sucks for it. Um, so now it's just gonna struggle. which is good because it does some residual damage to it. Wow, we really could have gotten a level 10 Smeargle. Oh well, Smeargle levels up quickly. Okay, so one Pokemon down. Let's hope that it gives us a good. Oh, yeah, that's great EXP actually. It's gonna give us one whole level. Wow, I did not realize it gave that good of EXP. Good to know. Gold grew to 11. Gold should be getting Sketch. So now something that we can think about is what what we're going to let Gold sketch. And I think what we'll do is we will hope that we find a Makuhita while we're training. Alolan Rattata. I don't think there's anything we want that Alolan Rattata has. Um, Although we'll see if we can actually beat it. Yeah, so at this point we need to decide what we're going to try to sketch with Smeargle. And I think Makuhita Arm Thrust will still be the best thing to do. Um, we just need to position ourselves to where we can actually get that with Sketch. Because it's not a super easy, like, it won't be super, it's not super easy to get a good move um, with Sketch right now because our Smeargle is so fast. Also, that defense da or that attack down nature really sucks right now. Basically, what we'll probably be trying to do with Smeargle, if we want to use it, which I'm not sure that we will want to use it over time, but we're probably just going to be trying to get different really good status moves on it, um, to use it kind of as a very niche Pokemon, but we shall see. So it learns Sketch at every level that has a 1 in it. So, or like 1 as the last digit. So 1, 11, 21, 31, all the way up to 91. Not that we'll have to go that high. Okay. Okay, gold needs to go up 1 level. Manganese needs to go up 3. That's all right. We can do that. Spearow. Spearow actually is not, it's a very not good encounter. However, getting Spearow here means that when we're trying to get Hawlucha in the next area, it's more likely that we get Hawlucha. So in some ways, it would be okay to to roll Smeargle. Although again, it's definitely not the best. Spearow, I think, also gives pretty shit experience points from what I remember. Of course. Okay, Spearow dead. I mean, we could go try to get Rock Smash off of the Crabrawler over there. Damn, I really want, maybe we should just run away because Smeargle gives us the most EXP and is the fastest to beat. So I think that's what we'll try to do. We're going to run away, and if we find a Makuhita, great. If we find a Smeargle, great. Other than that, I think we'll probably run. Oh, you're a trainer I can fight. I totally forgot about him. I guess we hope he has a ground type Pokemon, so it's really easy to beat. I guess we'll see. Breeder. Rockruff. Oh, that's great, actually. Um, because that is rock type, which is weak to water gun. And that should give us very good EXP. My hope is that this gives us around 3 to 400 EXP, but we'll see. Great. Okay. We really want Manganese to live, and so we're gonna hope that this works how I want it to work. Sand attack is fine. It lowers our accuracy, and we are going to hope Is that what I should sketch? We're gonna sketch sand attack. Okay. We're gonna sketch sand attack because we are going to. So sand attack lowers accuracy, so we hope that we hit this poison sting. We hope that this just kills. No, of course not. Poison? No, of course not. Let's see how. Okay, so Smeargle is tanky enough to deal with that. Okay. I need you to hit this next poison sting. Thank you. Okay. That did not end up going as poorly as it very, very easily could have. So we sketched sand attack. So sand attack lowers accuracy. And I think one of the things that we're going to try to do, we're going to try um, against this Raticate, depending on how well we tank its first attack, is poison it with Poison Sting, hopefully. Um, and then we will try to uh we didn't. And then we're gonna try to lower its accuracy with Sand Attack. This may not work. I don't think Smeargle is tanky enough to do this, but there's a chance it will. And so I think we should try it because I think we're going to be pretty SOL on like things we can do. And so the question you may be asking yourself is like, well, why is it going to be so difficult? It's just like eradicate, right? But the problem is not that it's just eradicate, it's that it gets a stat boost. I think it's an attack boost or a defense boost. Maybe it's defense. So it's a little extra tanky, and it calls in a secondary Pokemon to attack us as well. And that just makes beating it much more difficult. So we may, I'm not actually sure. It's been a while since I've done this Deathless Nuzlocke. We'll see how difficult this is. I think that there's probably a 60% chance that we lose with this current team. But all in all, this is not a bad team. This is a fairly decent team um, to go fight this Raticate with. So we're gonna hope it goes well. Something that you're gonna think about is we're gonna have to do the trial that leads up to the totem Pokemon. And you may be thinking, well, wait a second, like your Pokemon are at level 12 and they're about to, oh, there's a citrus berry. That's good. Your Pokemon are at level 12 and they're about to like level up. Isn't that, what if they level up while you're in the trial? If they level up while you're in the trial, then that's okay. So we know that that happens. We allow that to happen. That's fine. Okay, so we need two more levels on this Psyduck, one more level on this Smeargle. Okay, that did a lot more damage than I thought that would. If only I did a little more damage as well. Okay, dead Smeargle or dead Spearow. I think we're gonna have to heal, and then hopefully this will be the last healing before we can get Psyduck up to level 12. Smeargle isn't level 12, right? I don't think it's leveled up yet. But let's see. Smeargle is another Pokemon that we would not mind leveling up like once we've started the trial to like level 13. That would be quite useful if we could get that, but I'm not sure that we'll be able to. Cutiefly is a very, very good encounter. I also forgot that you can get that encounter. There are a lot of encounters here. Um, Cutiefly would be a very, very good encounter to get before This totem, it has pretty low defense, but it has fairy type moves, which are super effective to dark. So that is good. It has used stun spore on us, so we may get paralyzed. I don't think I ever realized how not tanky Psyduck is. I feel like I always assumed Psyduck is fairly tanky based on its looks, but I don't think it is. Very weird. Okay, gold goes to 12, which is fine. Let's get rid of this paralysis now that we're out of the battle. I think we're fine to do another fight before we have to heal. Let's really hope for Smeargle. No. So Smeargle is actually a very rare encounter. So it is very rare for us to encounter Smeargle here. Oh, absorb. That's super effective on me. Okay. Okay, so it's gonna be like what, 90 experience points? 74? Wow, that's low. Okay. Maybe hopefully only four more battles until I am not getting used to the controls on this. Maybe only four more battles until we're level 12 and done grinding, which would be good. Let's see, let's see. Oh, not if we keep getting cutie flies. Yeah, this is not worth our time. But of course, it's faster than us, so we're not going to be able to run away from it. Fine. God damn, dude. So part of the issue with grinding is you can get really, you know what? We're just going to keep trying to run. I don't see a point in this. Uh, um, Part of the issue with grinding is that you can, sure, you can roll Pokemon who have really frustrating move sets that are difficult to deal with. Um, or not difficult to deal with, but they just make everything take a long time and they don't give very much experience. And that just makes it like a real hassle. I believe there is one trainer that we've skipped. So I guess we'll go fight that trainer and hope that they give us enough EXP. Because I'm kind of over getting cutie flies. So let's just like not put ourselves in that position again. And this person is also in, well, I mean, there's also the Murkrow trainer that we skipped, but we're definitely not going to fight the Murkrow trainer, this guy. Fuck that. That guy is way too difficult for where he is put. Um, yeah, it's a really hard fight. For a long time, I thought that that fight was mandatory, and that was on my list. Like that fight is so difficult that that is on my list of the like really, really difficult fights um of Island 1. And then I finally realized that it's not mandatory and that you can skip it, and it makes Island 1 genuinely significantly easier. It's kind of crazy how much easier Island 1 is without him. And it's that none of your Pokemon, unless you roll the Magnemite earlier, none of your Pokemon are particularly good at fighting a Murkrow. And the Murkrow is, I believe, EV trained because I think he's like one of the difficult trainers. And so the Murkrow is really strong. It has really good stats because it's not supposed to be an early Pokemon. In in Gen 2, it was designed as like a standalone, no evolution, good enough Pokemon that you don't find until like late game. So it has good stats. he has a potion, so if you get it to it like low health, he'll just up its health again, and it may even have roost. Genuinely, it's a very difficult fight if you don't have let's hope this doesn't crit. Okay. It's genuinely a really difficult fight. Yeah. And so if it was mandatory, it makes the island way more difficult. Okay, that gave us pretty decent EXP. Let's go make sure that we're not going to accidentally level up gold, because that would be a big issue. How much does he need? Okay, so I think we're going to be fine. If we accidentally overlevel gold, then that's a big issue, and that's my error. But I think that we'll be fine. So let's go finish our training. So luckily, we should have hoarded enough Oran berries to allow us to put an Oran berry on every single Pokemon in our team, which is definitely very, very good and very, very useful. I don't think it's possible for him to give enough EXP for what's it called to evolve. Yeah. I think this is gonna give us like 100, maybe like 110 or something. So as you can see, manganese does not like he doesn't do all that much damage, but with brick break, he should be quite a bit better at doing damage. And we actually are probably going to do some damage calculations. We're going to go take Smeargle out for this last battle, because I don't think it's super necessary that we have Smeargle. And I really don't want to risk him getting overleveled. So Smeargle can come out. He has decent defense and decent health. Not amazing, but not the worst of my group of Pokemon. Just like the second worst, which is fine. Anything but Cutie Fly. Cutie Fly even is fine, it just takes longer. Okay. Rattata should be okay. I should be able to kill the Rattata before it kills me. I guess we'll find out. Oh, it's level 10. Maybe not. We'll find out. We'll find out how this goes. I think this is going to be a 4-hit kill. Hmm, yeah. We hope that he continuously uses Leer on us and never physically attacks us. 3-hit. Okay. Just do not attack. Oh, we went first. Oh, we're speed tied. Oh, phenomenal. Okay, kill it. Great. There you go. Luck, you know? Yeah, that's all you need is you need a lot of luck. All you need is luck. Do 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 do. All you need is luck, luck. Okay, so I think we have 7 Pokemon total. I think we could have had 8, but we missed an encounter. So, question is, who are our most tanky and best Pokemon? So we're going to pro and con every Pokemon. We're going to put in the ones who we know for sure are going to be in there regardless of their stats. We know for sure, regardless of stats, that Furfrou will be in there because of his ability. We know for sure, regardless of stats, that Gold will be in there because he can poison. At this point, there aren't any Pokemon that I'm like, they must be in here. So what we want to do from here, um, is we want to be able to tank as many hits from the Raticate as possible. Because if we're lucky and we get the poison with Smeargle on the first turn, then basically it's just a clock. You're just running the clock of the Rattata of the Raticate's life out. So Smeargle is in. From here, we are going to be keeping Tay because Tay has 34 HP and 16 defense. That is better than gold, so more defensive than gold. But also he's dark type, or she's dark type. And so if we get attacked by Raticate with a dark type move, then she will be able to half the damage. Litten 17 and 32 is pretty good. 12 and 32 is really bad, so we're gonna leave Wingle for sure, and 16 and 36 is good. So at this point, we have decided on our team. Um, we are going to, there are going to be a couple fights that we have to do before the Raticate. And I think we'll just do them with Furfrou. Maybe Percy. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna buy some potions just for my bag. Um, and I think we're gonna save, and then we're gonna go try this trial and see if we can beat it. Oh, I did not know that there was a trade for a Halucha. We may use that later. That I did not know about that. That is completely new, and I very randomly found out about that. Hmm. We'll keep that in the back of our mind. That may make this potentially easier. I need to think about rules. Um, because we have an encounter on this route, I don't think you can do a trade on this route, unless it's with the encounter of the route. So I don't think even if we get a Sparrow on the next route, I don't think we can trade it for the Halucha. Um, I think that would be a double encounter for this route. So there you go. But okay. Hmm. So we have to beat a Rattata, Eradicate, I think a Rattata, two Raticates, and a Team Skull Grunt. Or maybe it's two Rattata and one Raticate. I forget. We'll find out. This little item over here is Brick Break, the TM. That's going to be really useful for Psyduck to have. So in a normal Nuzlocke, where if a Pokemon dies, it's not the end of the game. Um, this trial is still difficult, but it's not super difficult because you're just going to lose Pokemon on it, right? Um, for us, it's really difficult because losing any one Pokemon ends our run. Um, and losing one Pokemon to this Raticate at the end, the giant Raticate is very difficult. But as you can see, Sodium is exceptionally tanky. He's very good at just tanking hits. Like we said, it's okay that he's leveling up. This is how the rules for this game work. You are allowed to get the extra levels. Um, so we still have to beat two more. Okay, so this is, I believe this is Eradicate. I don't think this is a Rattata, if I remember correctly. It is. I'm wrong. Okay, no problem. So we kill this Rattata, and then we have to like chase around the third Pokemon, and then we have to fight Team Skull, and then we have to fight the third Pokemon, and then we can fight the Totem Pokemon, which is fine. And then after this, so during this trial, you cannot catch any of these Pokemon, so they don't count as encounters. But after this, we will get an encounter, and you can get a really, really rare Pokemon as the encounter. The issue is that that really, really rare Pokemon is not very useful until it evolves, and it doesn't evolve until like level 50. So there's a question of is it actually worth it? And for early game, it is most definitely not worth it, unfortunately. But before we forget, let's go do this brick break. As you can see, only one of my Pokemon can learn it. I think it's weird that Meowth can't, but whatever. We're gonna get rid of Scratch. And we will actually damage calculate um, the amount of damage that our Psyduck can do with Brick Break, because if I can one hit, which I'm almost certain I can't, but if I can one to two hit the Raticate, it may be useful to not try any of these like poison strats and just attempt to kill the Raticate. Um, Actually, we can do a test with that in a minute. So we're going to go follow the Raticate around. And then after we open this, Team Skull is going to come and we have to fight them and then they will help us. Okay, I believe this is just the Drowsy again. It's either the Drowsy or the Zubat, but I'm almost certain it's just a Drowsy. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so we're just fighting that same Drowsy again, which is fine. We could use the Meowth, but Sodium should do just fine. Hmm. Okay, crit. Crit is nice. Does extra damage. Gets us maybe one or two more level 13 Pokemon, which is okay. And now what we're gonna do, and now what we are going to do is I want to test how easily manganese can kill Eradicate. So, like I said, the Totem Raticate is going to have more like extra, I believe it's defense, it may be attack, but either way, it's going to have extra stats. And I think it's a higher level than this Raticate. But if we can one-shot this Raticate, then it is a good shot that we can two-shot the Totem Raticate. So we'll test it out. I don't think we're able to. I'm pretty sure you can't. Um, I don't think this battle is that free without Makuhita, but it very well may be. I don't know. Hmm. Hmm. Is Psyduck that much of a free Totem Raticate? If Psyduck is that much of a free Totem Raticate, then I may be reappraising how difficult I think Island 1 is. Hmm. Okay. So I think the fact that we one-shot that Raticate means that we should try to lead with manganese. Um, I think that that's the only way to. I think that I think if we can one shot with, I think we can two shot the Alolan Raticate, and even if we can't two shot it, I think it should be possible to beat it with the rest of my team as it's currently set up. So. This Raticate encounter may have saved our run, given that we have missed one encounter and not gotten exceptionally lucky with our others. But okay, here we go. Here comes the boss fight. We're going to get attacked by this gigantic Raticate that for some reason is going to do a bunch of flips in front of us to show off. I've never really understood that, but there you go. Okay, here we go. This is the first fight. Well, Ilima was the first fight I was really concerned about losing. This is the first fight that I'm like, I think there's a good chance that we lose it. Yeah, defense rose. Okay. We'll see how much damage we do with manganese. Because this is times four, so this can also flinch us. Okay, so we didn't flinch. So here's the problem. I think they're both faster. I actually don't. I think we're faster than the Rattata. I think we can kill the Raticate. So the problem is that I think it's going to use Bite. I think they're both going to use Bite. And my worry is that 37, let's do some math. 24 minus 37. So it did 13 damage to me. I think no matter what, we will live both of their attacks. So I think the thing to do is try to brick break with the knowledge that we may get flinched here. Okay, we got flinched. That is unlucky, and it makes it so that we cannot kill with manganese. So we're going to send out sodium because neither of these have pursuit. Thank God. And sodium should, my guess is, be able to tank at least 2 rounds of attacks. Okay, so we can tank quite a few rounds of attacks. So the question is, so I think we go with echoed voice because the Raticate has a increased defense. Okay, so we're going to be able to kill it next turn. Great. So this totem fight at this point should be, oh, it does have pursuit. I got exceptionally lucky that it did not use pursuit on my Psyduck, or else we would have lost. I did not realize that the helper Pokemon had pursuit. That is lucky. So we need to avoid flinching. That is all we need to do. So long as we don't flinch, we will win. Okay, we didn't flinch. We got the win. I don't think we have to kill the secondary Rattata, although we're about to find out. Oh, okay, guys. That was. Oh, we do have to kill the second. Oh, I was not aware of that. Okay. Um, Good to know. I'm not concerned about killing it. Yeah, so it seems like getting Psyduck and getting Furfrou is enough of like luck together to make the totem Pokemon beatable. That's good to know in a deathless situation. We even were not super lucky in that we flinched with the not Rattata. We flinched with the Psyduck. So yeah, this is good to know. This is something that I was not aware of before. So yeah. Okay. I think even if you just have Psyduck, you can probably beat it with the rest of your Pokemon. But Psyduck Furfrou seems like it's probably so it seems like Furfrou is on the same level as Grimer in terms of being like super, super excellent encounter gets you through this first section. Um, so it's been about an hour. I think that we're going to keep um, going. We're gonna go try to get our next 2 encounters, and then I think for the next episode, we're going to do the last 2 mandatory fight, or the last three mandatory fights um of Island 1. And those 3 mandatory fights are all, well, your rival fight is not particularly difficult, but the other two, one is against a Furfrou, which is difficult, but we're going to try to use gold to strat it out, to poison, with poison. So we're gonna have to fight these two or the guy of the group in a moment. Not now, a bit later. I think it's the next mandatory fight. Um, so we'll have to do that. But we have a couple encounters that we can get before then, and so we're gonna do those encounters. So I think we get 3 encounters. We get this caverns encounter, which we actually do not want to get a Rattata here. We want to get this other one because it's more rare. Okay, this is a Noibat. It's not exceptionally useful. It doesn't learn like Dragon Rage or anything, which would be very useful. But it's fine. And so we are going to Water Gun, I think, is not very effective on it, so I don't worry about it killing. Okay, we're going to use Water Gun 2 to 3 times to try to get its HP down, because I don't think it's going to be a super easy Pokemon to catch. Although we have Nest Balls, so maybe it will be. Maybe I'm lying. Hmm. Yeah, so Noibat just has really bad stats. Its evolution is okay. It's kind of a glass cannon from what I remember. I could be wrong. It may have decent defenses. But the problem is that it's not good enough for what we're going to need. So great, we got the Noibat. Um, I have no idea what to name this Pokemon. Hmm. Let's see. What should the Noibat's name be? I mean, I have all of like the gas, all the noble gases. I have all of the Halo ones left. Hmm. We'll call it boron. And it's going to ask us if we want to put it in our team, and that's a good question. Let's look at its nature. It's not that bad of a nature. Defense down natures are risky, but I don't think that that's terrible for now, at least. I don't see Tay being particularly useful for the rest of this area. I don't see Sodium being super useful for the rest of this area, but oh, that's another thing. I forgot to put berries on my Pokemon before we did all of before we did the totem Pokemon. That was incredibly risky of me. I really just played on extra hard mode doing that. Okay. Now I feel very confident that Psyduck Furfrou as a pair um are good enough for this first trial, which is good. That does make me think that Island 1 is a bit easier than I thought it was. Um, which is good. Because we still have the trial captain, the Kahuna is um genuinely difficult. Like genuinely difficult. Um, so we still have to deal with that. And we'll see how that goes. But I think we should be fine. And I think that no, not yet. Percy will evolve relatively soon. So remember that level 16 is the next level cap. We cannot go above 16 with any of our Pokemon. Oh, I forgot you could find a Alolan Diglett here. Alolan Diglett is fine. Diglett is like the quintessential um, glass cannon. Well, I guess you shouldn't call him a glass cannon, maybe glass gun. And that's super frail, but it is super fast and has decent attack stat. It's not very good, but for Gen 1 it was good enough, I suppose. Let's see. What 14, 13, 14. We will fight this last Pokemon just because we know that Rattata is easy to kill. So you can also find a Zubat here. Zubat's final evolution, Crobat, is a really, really excellent Pokemon. So we actually do kind of want to encounter a Zubat at some point. Um, just because it's really good, especially against the grass type totem, which is on Island 2. The thing about it is that there aren't many places you can encounter Zubat here. So Zubat will eventually be a guaranteed encounter. Like you will get Zubat at some point. But it was either get Psyduck or get Zubat. And with how good Psyduck is, I think you definitely want Psyduck over Zubat. Um, which is good to think about. Previously, I thought of them as fairly equal in how much you wanted them, but after this run, I think it's pretty clear that um, you you want Psyduck a lot more than Zubat, for now at least. So yeah, let's see. Boron grows to level 9. We're just kind of like half training Boron. I don't, I can't think of a single fight that Boron will be like, wow, that's so useful for. We're gonna get taught, we have to do a couple required cutscenes for now, where they're gonna teach us how to use Z moves, um, which is just boring, and we kind of just gotta sit through them. Um, During that cutscene, I will describe to you, oh, is it this cutscene? It may well just be this cutscene. So we're gonna get shown how to use a Z move. Um, so from Generation 6 onward, every generation there's a new gimmick to Pokemon. Generation 6 has Mega Evolutions, which is pretty much by far everyone's favorite gimmick, just because it's so cool. Z moves, however, are Generation 7's gimmick, and Z moves are my second favorite gimmick. A lot of people don't like them, but I like the idea. So the idea is that it's one really powerful move that you can use per battle. So if you have a trainer battle and you each have 6 Pokemon, one of your 6 Pokemon will be allowed to use a Z move. But it's only if they're holding a Z crystal as their item. So you have to give up an item in order for the ability to use one of these Z moves. I like it a lot. Some people take Z moves out of their Nuzlocks, but this generation was designed with Z moves um, in mind, and so I think they're perfectly fine. Um, Personally, um, we I guess we could give Furfrou our Z move. So this first Z move is just normal type. Furfrou does make sense to have it, so we can use this item on Furfrou. Uh, yeah. Okay, let's heal. Do we need to heal up? No. Okay. Let's go get our next encounter. Let's see. Actually, you know what we do want? We want Wingull in our party from here on because the first Island Kahuna is a fighting type trainer, and Wingull is flying type, so he's actually not bad. Um, I think we want Smeargle for the Furfrou fight, maybe. We don't want Smeargle for the Kahuna fight, though. So we'll see. So we have 2 more encounters. We're just going to go get these 2 encounters really quickly because I think that they're useful. We will have another 1 encounter before the Kahuna for the next episode, but we're going to start here. So we don't want Spearow. We really want Halucha, but it's really rare, so I wouldn't hold our breath. We got the Spearow. Uh, I don't think that it is appropriate to do the trade. I think the trade is I'll look kind of online for what people's rules are, but because the trade is not on this route, um, I don't think it makes sense for the trade to be very fair. Because Hawlucha is, I mean, just an absolute house of a Pokemon. It is probably one of the best Pokemon that you can get in any game for Nuzlocke, and definitely one of the best Pokemon you can get in this game for Nuzlocke. So I think that that's too easy and too free. So we're gonna call this Sparrow. Fluorine? Yeah. I was trying to remember if fluorine or fluoride was the element. Okay, let's look at its stats. Pretty decent. Extra defense is always fine by me to have. We'll take gold out. I don't think gold is strictly necessary. We may change our mind, but I think gold is fine to take out. It would suck if this is a Halucha. No, it's not. It's a cutie fly. Okay. Anyways. Halucha, yeah, just too good. If you get really, really, really lucky, you get it, and it is genuinely excellent. We'll train against this just because we have Percy, which can use fire type moves. Percy now has a physical fire type move, which is good because he is a physical attacker. Okay, let's go get our final encounter, and then we will. Oh, I did not mean to run into that trainer. That's fine. Get our final encounter, and then we'll call it a day for this one. Mm. We definitely do not want to stay in against a Cottony with manganese. I'm not particularly concerned. Cottony's not that good of a Pokemon, but we will switch. Mm. Good rain. Okay, Ember finishes it off. Okay. Okay, so we are going to get actually, should we end with the Furfrou fight? I mean, at that point, why don't we just end with the Kahuna fight? No, no. We will do this catch, and I think we'll call it a day afterwards. So we ideally want this to be Cutie Fly or okay, Cutie Fly. Great. I think you can get Flabebe here. Flabebe and Cutie Fly are kind of equally good. Um, Ribombee, I think is probably better than Florges, although I don't know if that's technically true or if I'm misremembering. Four. Okay, I told you nest balls are super, super good. Um, the question is, we're on level 10, Quack level 13. Do we put Cutie Fly in our team and train it? Probably. I mean, we want as much flexibility. Cutie Fly can be carbon. We really want a special attack up nature. Adamant would be perfect. Or, oh, it's not bad. We'll keep it. We'll keep it. Um, gonna add it to our party. So we're, uh, Anyway, we're gonna get rid of Quack for a second. So we will go fight this Furfru. We may, in fact, also get this other encounter. I think sodium, Percy, and manganese should be more than enough for this Furfru, but we shall find out. Actually, yeah, it definitely should because, I didn't know that boron could learn brick break. Why? Why can it learn brick break? That's so random. Brick break is a good enough move that we'll teach it though. And on that note, we will also teach it echoed voice, because it is a special attacker. We'll get rid of supersonic. Supersonic is good, confusing is good, but it's too unreliable in this game. Supersonic as a move. Um, okay, so we're gonna heal up Percy. This fight is not going to be exceptionally difficult. You know what? We have a bunch of orange berries. So we're gonna give manganese an orange berry. This fight I don't think will be exceptionally difficult because we have echoed voice as a TM. Oh, we're gonna get our encounter now. But Smoochum would be fine. Okay, Smoochum, great. That's another psychic type. The problem is that I think it's also an ice type, which means that it does not resist fighting type moves, which makes it a lot less useful. Smoochum also, I believe, has a pretty low uh, catch rate. So I don't know how easy this Pokemon is going to be to catch. Never mind. We're getting a little lucky with these nest balls on just easily catching Pokemon. Um, Gets us to level 15, which means that we are going to get to level 16. Buh, 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 buh. I don't see a point in lowering defense at the moment. I would rather the ability to lower attack. Percy also went to 15. Does Percy evolve at 15 or 16? I can't remember. I always feel like Litten evolves at 14, but I am apparently wrong. Um, okay, Smoochum. I don't know, what's a really inappropriate Radon, I guess. I'm sure that there's some Horium or something like that that I'm not thinking of. If this has a really good nature, we'll keep it in our team. Oh, that's a really good nature. I need to look up what Smoochum's learn set is. Give me just a second. Smoochum learn set Gen 7. I guess the hope is that confusion at level 15? Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely worth it to keep it. So now we have to decide what Pokemon's going to come out of the party for it. So it's either Fluorine or Boron at this point. We'll take Fluorine out. Fluorine also does not resist fighting type. So okay, so we're gonna take this Furfrou out. This is not an like it's not one of the battles that I say that I'm worried about. But just like all Deathless battles, they can go wrong. This is one that I think is a little more likely to go wrong just because we've seen how good Furfrou generally is, how defensive he is, and how we don't have too many special attackers at this point. We're gonna try using the Z move to try to show you. The hope is that Z echoed voice is going to be powerful enough to do like a lot of damage to this Furfrou. I think it should be. And hopefully we can kill it without any hiccups. Yeah, the longer a Pokemon battle takes, the more your opponent can use like Sand Attack, or the more likely they are to get a critical hit over time. And we don't want to let that happen. That's how you lose these battles. Okay. So Echoed Voice did about half damage, which is okay. That means it's probably going to take us three more Echoed Voices to kill it. Maybe two. Maybe it did enough over half. I think it's going to be three. Um, I'm not concerned about that. Okay. So Furfrou makes this battle, Furfrou with Echoed Voice and the Z move makes this battle free, which is good. Good to know. We're starting to revise and say Furfrou is probably the best Pokemon you can encounter in this area. Probably even better than Grimer. Boron goes to 11, learns Gust. Gust is good to have. Gust is probably better than Absorb to have. Who else goes up? Carbon goes to 12. Okay, good. We are going to take you back to Lily. Okay, so here's the complication. The complication is that we immediately, like right now, have to go do the rival fight. And the worry is that Furfrou will level up if we do that. I think we'll be fine. I don't think Furfrou will level up. Who does my rival have? I think my rival at this point has a Pikachu, an Eevee, and maybe a Pikachu, Eevee, maybe a Zubat or a Noibat, and his starter. Do I get the chance to say no to fighting him? I just don't. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I get a choice. So unfortunately, we kept Frou-Frou out, or Furfrou out, which means he's going to get a good amount of EXP. So the positive is that Furfrou um, is normal type, and so even though he's very defensive, he's not going to be very um, like excellent against, like very useful against the uh, what's it called? The trial captain, or not the trial captain, the Kahuna, the final boss of the island. Okay, of course you have a Oranberry, Citrus Berry. Great. But we flinched, which is good. So we're going to switch to Ember just because we have lowered attack points at this point. Okay, Leafage is fine. We're really not worried about. Yeah, so I think his other one is a Noibat. We're really not worried about this at the moment. I think we're going to probably send out Pikachu next. Question mark. We really do not want him to overlevel, but I don't think that we're like at a place where we have to worry about that. I think he will be fine. If he sends out uh uh okay, so he sent out Noibat, which is kind of what we wanted. So we should be able to take out Noibat with Radon. Maybe we will just go fight the Kahuna full ways and have the Kahuna fight be the last fight. That's probably what we'll end up doing. We use powdered snow. I think this should one shot. Yeah, I was gonna say. So that's times 4 damage. Last one is Pikachu. I forget if his Pikachu's already holding a light ball. My guess is it's not. What does Sweet Kiss do? Sweet Kiss confuses? I don't see a world where Pikachu can one-shot us. Okay. I don't see a world where Pikachu can kill us. Okay, we're gonna switch out after this if we don't kill, which we almost. Oh, we did. We crit. Great. Okay, so like I said, the manganese goes to 16. Great. Water pulse is good to have. Okay, so at this point, so long as carbon goes to 13, that's fine. Silverwind is a good move. Okay, okay. So at this point, we're gonna get Percy to evolve really quickly. What? Does Percy evolve at 17? Or did Percy already evolve? What? I hmm. Maybe at 17 and Incineroar is 34. I really did not remember that. Okay. Okay. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go take our almost over leveled Pokemon off of our team, and then we're going to level up to 16 with these other couple Pokemon that we just got. And then we're going to finish, we'll just finish with the Kahuna fight. At this point, we're close enough, and this can just be a extra long episode. Um, okay. So at this point, I would say we've been, I don't want to say lucky with our pulls because I don't think overall it's super lucky. I just think that you are guaranteed pretty decent pulls at this point. Um, okay, so we're going to take Litten out. We're going to take you out. I guess we can do Blub for Fru. I think that Radon will be the most useful to just like train with, especially with a special attack up nature. That's a really, really good nature because we don't care about Jinx being too fast. Um, okay. So there are plenty of Pokemon trainers we can fight on this route, and pretty much all of them use what's it called? Shoot, I didn't mean to do that. Pretty much all of them use flying types. Lots of flying types to be found here. Okay. We grab the Sharp Beak because it ups our flying type moves attacks. We can also get Roost here as a TM, but in order to get Roost, we have to fight a pretty difficult battle. And that battle we do consider to be, it's not that it's mandatory, but it is a optional battle that if you win it, gives you a really good prize. And because it gives you a really good prize and it's optional, that battle we say if you choose to take it on and you lose a Pokemon in it, you lose the run. Um, oh, okay, a Psyduck. I think we'll go with Blub. I think Blub should be pretty fine against Psyduck. Um, to train, we'll use Bug Bite. Oh, Psyduck's faster. Okay, well, we're definitely gonna have to switch after the next one if we don't kill. We can stay in one more. Oh, we're speed tied. And we won. Okay. Never punished, apparently. Yes. So this Pokemon trainer, once we fight all of the other trainers on the route, will be an optional battle for us that will. So this trainer gives us a Soothe-Bell, and this will be very useful for if we get a Zubat. This helps Pokemon that evolve via friendship to evolve. But yeah, so that trainer back there is the optional trainer. We have to beat everyone else on the route first. So we'll go do that. We're not gonna fight the trainer because I don't want to risk losing. I don't see a point in adding another mandatory fight. This game is already difficult enough without doing that. Um, I did not remember that this was a Growlithe, but it's not the end of the world for it to be. I'm fairly certain that I can live one fire type attack. So we're gonna lick with the hope that we get paralysis. We did. We're gonna get hope to get even more lucky. We didn't. Um, good. This is not a mandatory battle. I was trying to think of whether or not it is, but you can go around this guy and not have to fight him. So this is not a mandatory battle, so we're not worried about accidentally losing here and losing our run. That's really not what I was trying to hit, but okay, we both did not move really this turn. Go to water gun and hope that we can kill this Growlithe pretty easily. I saw that coming. Doesn't matter because we are not a physical attacker. Great. Growlithe is dead. Fury attack is not a good move. Boron goes to 13. Uh, I do not see a point in teaching it Bite. It is not a physical attacker. And Bite is not, for the moment, better than Brick Break. Bite is probably better than Brick Break, but it's fine. That was a waste of a super potion. I think there's one more. Oh, well, we got it back. I think that there's one more trainer on this route, I believe. Am I wrong? I am wrong. We'll go fight this Crabrawler, or yeah, Crabrawler. Hmm. Oh, partly I'm doing this because I'm not actually sure if Radon is. I don't remember if psychic types resist fighting types. And so if psychic types do resist fighting types, then fighting should be neutral against Radon. Oh, he's not even going to use a fighting type move. Um, but if psychic types do not resist fighting, then I would be weak to like Rock Smash. So let's hope that it chooses to use Rock Smash. Hmm. It did not choose to use it. Oogie, no problem, I guess. Lepa berry, Lepa berry. Give me another citrus. Pecha berry. Okay. Citrus. Okay, two citrus. That's a good haul from that. Um, this guy wants to see a Sableye. He is not a trainer. Have we beaten all the trainers here? Kind of seems like it. Let's heal. So there's a really good TM in the cave that I left, but I don't think you can get the TM yet. I believe you need Surf for that TM. So I don't think currently there is anything in that cave that is worth me trying to get. However, there is um, a trainer over here that should give us some pretty good experience. Struggle Bug is going to be super effective because I am Psychic type. It's going to lower my special attack. Cutiefly is so annoying. I don't actually even know why I'm fighting this Pokemon. I don't think there is a point to doing it. Does not give us good enough. Um, not special attack, but it doesn't give us good enough EXP to be worth it. Great. I wouldn't mind finding a shiny Cutiefly. Level 12. Do I have anyone that can just kill a Cutiefly really easily? Yeah, I think Boron can. Mm. So we're almost level 15 with Smoochum. And Smoochum will learn Confusion at level 15, which we really want before we go fight the Kahuna. We do not want to rely on Smoochum because Smoochum is not ideal for that fight, but we'll do our best. Um, that fight is not free, and I am not sure that we will be able to beat it. That is yet another. Okay, you know what? If Cutiefly is going to call for help, we are absolutely not staying in. This is not worth it. And of course, we didn't. We couldn't get away. Oh my God, dude. The one problem with Gen 7 is Gen 7 is genuinely annoying if. Oh, it used Fairy Wind. Okay, thank God we got away safely. Gen 7 is genuinely annoying in that the wild type Pokemon have no really annoying moves. Um, so this is kind of annoying to train. Maybe I should just cheat in rare candies. But it's fine. So there are these dancing bird Pokemon in this game. Um, and each island has a different dancing bird, and so each island has a different trainer with said dancing bird. The first one is electric type, and it's the pom pom version of Oricorio. It is flying type, so we should be able to pretty easily kill it with Smoochum. That did more damage to me than I thought it would, and I did less damage to it than I was hoping. Good. Okay, killed. We're hoping for like 300 EXP. Yep, 350. Great. That should level up at least one of my other Pokemon as well. We want to learn Confusion and we'll get rid of Pound. There's no reason to have Pound. Quack goes to level 14. Oh, that was it. Damn. Yep. No problem, lady. And she just disappears. Another Poison Barb. Okay. I don't know what it is with us and getting doubles of items, but we seem to have done it a few times. Um, I am really thinking about being stupid. Let me check something really quickly. TM trainers, Pokemon Ultra Moon. Where is Roost? I thought Roost was either really early or really late. Roost. Route 3. Um, TM Roost Trainer Ultra Moon. So what I'm looking up right now, because I don't know if you guys can actually see it, what I'm looking up is I want to know what Pokemon this trainer has. He has Rockruff and he has Slowpoke. So the issue is that I don't think I have a way to kill the Slowpoke, and the Slowpoke is the harder of the two. So I think we're gonna have to skip that fight, unfortunately. I was hoping he would have all flying types, in which I would go fight him because that would be perfectly fine. One of the problems with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is that you don't really refight trainers. And that does make grinding a little bit more annoying. So we're gonna rest up our Pokemon. Hmm. We're gonna buy a few more of these. And then we will go train. Mankey. Okay. This is another good place to find out whether or not Radon is neutrally affected by fighting type moves. Although we may just kill this in one hit. We did. Okay. What level does Smoochum evolve? I think it's level 30 or 32. It's some absurdly high level. I wish it was just friendship. Friendship would be better. Okay, that's fine. So I'm training here because Smoochum should be able to just one-shot every single one of these Pokemon. So it should just go, we should be able to like cycle through Pokemon very, very quickly, which is good for us. Even if they don't give us a crazy amount of EXP, they still should go down easily. I think Confusion has more than Powdered Snow. Yeah, Absorb is fine. Just don't call for help. Good. Okay. Of course, let's hope it doesn't get any help. Of course. Dear God. I think I should be able to kill this Cutiefly in one hit. Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh. Radon has horrible defense. Oh, that's really scary that that's that bad of defense. Okay. So I want you, and you to all be level 16 before I go do this fight. So I'm gonna keep training with Radon because Radon will do it fastest for now. And then when Radon gets too high or too close to level 17, we will go do we'll take her out. But it's gonna be a while before she gets that close. Um, so as you can tell, we still have not run into a Halucha. That is how rare Halucha is of an encounter here. I think it's like 5% or 1% or something. So it's exceptionally rare, but if you get lucky and get it, then that's awesome. But yeah, even after all of these Pokemon, we still have not found a Halucha here, which is kind of hilarious. Two. Okay. Oh, I wish there were better encounters that gave you more EXP here. Or more trainers that gave you more EXP. It's definitely the issue with this area and with this part of the first island. We don't actually care about Florian all that much. We'll take a look at his stats once everyone else is at level 16 or her stats, I forget. But I don't think that they're going to be high enough to warrant using it. Um, I think we'll have other better neutrally affected Pokemon. Because really the issue with this fight, the Makuhita is not super hard to beat, and the Machop is not terrible, although it is a little risky. The problem with the fight is the Crabrawler that he has, because not only does his Crabrawler have the all-out pummeling move, which is the move that that he has a Z move, so a super strong stab fighting type move. Not only does he have that, but he also has um, pursuit. So even if you try to switch out, you take a lot of damage. So, and he has power up punch, which in and of itself is its own really powerful attack. Can really snowball if you don't kill the opposing Pokemon fast enough. So, on this note, actually, what types are is Smoochum weak to? Okay, so it's Fire, Bug, Rock, Ghost, Dark, Steel. Okay, that's good. So it's not weak to fighting. At the very least, it is neutrally affected by fighting, which is definitely what we wanted. Ooh, ba 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 ba. Okay, of course it's going to call for help. Right. Let's just kill this cutie fly. The only issue with Quack is that not only does Quack have bad defenses, but he also only has wing attack, which is a physical attack, which means that you're not even using your best stat. So I'm not even certain that we're going to bring Quack. Um, but yeah, I'm still a little concerned about Totem Pokemon too, to be super honest with you. It's like the next Totem Pokemon. What level are we at with these other Pokemon? Okay. We need to go take this Pokemon out of our team. And we'll switch it out with another Pokemon so that we're still training all of our Pokemon as equally as we can. And we'll see if we just lose. I am half convinced that we are still going to lose to the Kahuna. I feel like out of this group, we would rather train this. 16, 16, 16. Okay. I think it's funny. We use Percy so much at the beginning, but at this point, we're not using Percy all that much. We did take out the right Pokemon, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's keep training. Hopefully, it's only going to take us about 15 more minutes, maybe, to train up, and then we'll go fight the Kahuna and see how it goes. I would love to stop running into these cutie flies. I guess if it's level 12, it's fine. Problem with switching away from the Smoochum is we no longer do all that much damage. Ah, stun spore. Okay, so we'll switch out Blub and not use it from now on. Maybe I should have been using Bug Bite, but it's bug type. I don't know. Carbon goes to 15. That's good. Maybe we'll go use Carbon. I don't know. I don't know who I think is best here right now. Actually, let's take a look at stats at the moment. The Carbon has a special attack of 25, physical attack of 20, special attack of 26 or 21, special attack of 23, physical attack of 28, and special attack of 26. I feel like, yeah, it's probably. Although he has a slightly lower, um, it's not what I was trying to do. Although he has a slightly lower special attack stat, I think he's probably the choice. Because he will level up and probably have an equal special attack stat afterwards. I think Boron has a chance to one-shot Cutie Flies with Gust. Stab, super effective Gust. Wow. Damn, is Smoochum's special attack that high? I mean, it must be, but good Lord. Okay. I feel like we just Gust. Okay. Jeez. Part of the issue is that all of my Pokemon that have super effective moves against fighting types, I feel like they're not particularly strong super effective moves, and they all have super weak defense stats. Like, I'm really worried about Smoochum. I don't think Smoochum's is going to be a good enough special attacker to one-shot anything on his team, and the Smoochum has absolutely garbage defense. So I don't really know what to do on that front, but I shall give it some consideration. God, Boron only got to level 15 now. Jesus Christ, this Pokemon learning garbage moves. I was not paying attention to that. I will be honest with you. Okay. Blub went to level 16, but I think Blub should be fine for a while just to sit at level 16. Let's do this before. Okay, I'm slightly concerned. Oh, there you go. There's your. After all that time, we finally found Halucha. Um, so this is Halucha. Halucha is for Island 2 the best encounter you can get on Island 1. Um, Unfortunately, we did not get the encounter. Oh, it's gonna call for help. Good Lord. I'd love it if it somehow called a shiny Halucha so that we could catch it. That would be hilarious. Um, I'm a little concerned the Boron's gonna die here. Yep. Okay, that's not the biggest deal because again, we're just training. Carbon should be fine. Carbon may not be fine. I totally forgot that these are both flying type. Well, we need to kill one of the Haluchas like right now. Okay, one Halucha is dead. This should give us, yeah, Halucha gives really, really, really good EXP, which is why we would love to see it more often. Unfortunately, Boron is one of the Pokemon that we really need the EXP for, and now Boron is dead. Okay, I think we'll still win. Are we speed tied? Yeah, well, I won the speed tie, so that's fine. Okay, Halucha down, 340. Damn, now I'm really upset that we didn't get all of that for what's it called? Better than absorb. All of that for our uh Boron. But yeah, so that's Halucha. Very good, very great stats. We're gonna go put Blub back and go heal Boron. And then I think we'll put the Cutie Fly away as well. Um, it's really annoying that Percy does not evolve until level 17. Carbon has better stats than I thought it did. Very interesting. Um, Hopefully only a few more battles. I would love if this is a Smeargle. Oh, there you go. That's not bad. Okay, so we should get pretty good stats out of this. I didn't heal Boron. Well, there's no point in not doing this, unfortunately. Benjamin, you moron. I really like Smeargle in concept. I just think, unfortunately, its stats are kind of garbage. So it's not that good of a Pokemon, but I do really like it conceptually. Mm. Oh dear. Do 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 do. Let's hope for a couple more haluchas. On this note, actually, why don't we just give our sh I'm telling you, getting used to these controls is really hard. Why don't we just give our sharp beak to our boron? That way it does a little bit more damage with its gust, since that is mainly what we're going to be using anyways. So we really want to find a halucha if we can. Mm. Enki is certainly the worst encounter in this area. That's not what I meant to use. We need to call this a day. That's what we need to do. Okay, I'm glad that critically hit because when it did that much damage and it was not very effective, I was like, that's kind of crazy that his defenses are that low. Oh God, what I'd give for a rare candy right now. This is the other problem with having dragon types at really low levels is dragon types just have incredibly long evolution curves. Like they need a lot of EXP in order to grow levels. And it just makes them so useless to use early game, and they are somewhat worth it if they get the move Dragon Rage because it does like a set amount of damage, but Noibat doesn't. So there's just almost no redeeming quality to Noibat. The only reason I'm using it is because it's flying type and should resist fighting type moves, you know? Quack is at level 16 now. So we're gonna keep going, hopefully get Noibat to 16, and then I think we'll be done. Because I don't think we care about either Spearow or um, Meowth going to 16, because I do not believe we have any reason really to use them. Hmm. I'd love to be able to use Meowth, but I just can't with it being dark type. That's good. Hopefully we can kill this without without getting ourselves killed. Um, we shall find out. Okay, this should do a good amount of damage. God damn, it does so much damage to us. I think it's more important that I survive this, so we're gonna go to Quack and kill it with Water Pulse. Well, there you go, of course. This time it doesn't want to kill me. Okay, Boron to 16. The problem with Wing Attack is that it just is not specially, it's not a special attack, and so it's not using our better attack stat. So I do not see a point to it. The question is, I'm a little worried that Spearow is good enough to be on the team, and that we should take Spearow up to level 16. Let's see. Because Aerial Ace is a very good at move, and with a sharp beak, it's going to do extra damage. Let's see how it does against some of these Pokemon. Let's see how easily it deals damage and kills, like a level 12. Level 12 Spearow, we want to be able to one-shot. We're not one-shotting it. If Spearow was pure flying type and wasn't flying normal, I would be really inclined to use it. Problem is that it's not just flying type. So fighting type moves are not neutral against it. Flying type moves are, or fighting type moves aren't resisted. Fighting type moves are neutral. And the problem is that all of my other Pokemon just have slightly better stats and take neutral damage. So, they don't have a super effective move necessarily, but I mean, at that point, I don't know if it's necessary to have a super effective move. Okay, what we need to decide, what we need to decide is we need to do a damage calculation. We need to do a couple damage calculations to figure out how much damage. So we know Smoochum's going to be in there, right? We're pretty confident Percy's going to be in there. We know Cutie Fly is going to be in there. In reality, it does not make sense not to have Psyduck in there. So 23 with 43, 21 with 40, 23 with 42, 11 with 42, but has by far the highest special attack stat. So now the question is Furfrou actually useful here? Or is it more useful? I don't see Wingull not having a special attacking flying type move being very useful. But the problem is that I feel like Blub has a super high attack stat, a very respectable defense stat, and he resists fighting type moves. So the question is Blub better than Noibat? I don't think Blub is better than Noibat. 2045 versus 1942. I mean, he's definitely tankier, but he's not dealing any damage. I mean, Vice Grip maybe, right? But no, part of me really feels like this is the better way to do this. And we just need the Sharp Beak. Who has flying type moves? Is it just? Yeah, I think it's just Boron. So Boron gets the Sharp Beak. I think Radon has to be given a citrus berry. I don't see any other Pokemon that like so clearly needs it. What does Carbon hold? Okay, we're gonna take that. I think Carbon also gets a citrus berry. How many, do we have four citrus berries or do we only have three? I think I'd rather have him have a citrus berry than Percy, and Percy can have an orange berry. The problem is that I just don't, part of me feels like none of these Pokemon. Okay, I'm going to do some calculations really quickly. I forget if you guys can see this. Um, damage calculator. So Pokemon Showdown has a damage calculator on it. So we're going to do, let's start with, okay. So you start with a level 15 Machop as the first Pokemon who you fight. Machop, level 15. And we're going to go against Smoochum, level 16, with a attack stat. So we're going to be faster, but we never kill. We never kill with confusion. What is our... We never kill with confusion. Okay. So is Psyduck the better start? So here's the issue, right? What we're trying to do is we're trying to find out who we can kill this Machop with. So the problem with the Machop is that it has the move Revenge, which does double damage if you attacked it. Could start with Percy, or we could start with Carbon. So here's the issue. Well, what about Crabrawler? So something else I want to see is against a level 16 Crabrawler, how much does Pursuit do? Most of my HP. Okay. Okay. Um, let me look at Radon stats really quickly. Yeah. Unfortunately, I just don't think Radon is useful for the Makuhita. Once Crabrawler is down, Radon is useful. Until Crabrawler is down, I just don't think Radon is useful. So I think we need to not start with Radon. Let's go see how much Furfrou. Um, 16. So all out pummeling will not kill Furfrou. All out pummeling will not kill Furfrou. Echoed voice 10. Echoed voice as a Z move will do half damage. Uh, what is his? He's modest. Sorry, just give me a sec, guys, to try to calc this out. Yeah, 23. That's fine. Um, how about headbutt? Okay, so headbutt, breakneck blitz is better against Crabrawler because I don't understand why it is, but supposedly it is. Well, I do. I guess it's more powerful. So Furfrou seems like it's probably a decent Pokemon to use against the Crabrawler. Funny enough. So we really just need to kill. So it's all about killing the Machop. So let's go back to Machop. Let's go back to Machop, and we're going to go to level 15. And let's go to Noibat, level 16. Special attack is 26. Okay, special attack is 26. Defense is 19. And it has Gust. But it also has a Sharp Beak. So Gust is a guaranteed to hit KO. How much does Revenge do? 60%. Okay. I think the way we do this, I think the way we do this is we're going to start with, um, I think the best way to do, well, actually, wait, let's do this really quickly. Let's calc pysduck. Um, pysduck at level 16 with a special attack of 26. It's actually a really bad special attack for pysduck to have at this point. That means I did not get very many individual values in that. A defense of 19, 23. Okay, nope, it's not going to work. Okay, that answered that very quickly and very easily. So we're going to start with boron. Boron is going to hit Machop, and then boron is going to switch out. I'm actually starting to think. Sorry, one last change. I think Psyduck is going to come out. I think Psyduck is going to come out for Blub. Because while Psyduck has a super effective attack, I don't think he's doing enough. And I think Blub can do some while being able to tank attacks. And that at the moment is what I am most worried about, is tanking attacks. So, did I wait? Good. Okay. All right. Let's go do this now. Okay. So we're going to run all the way over and go fight the Kahuna. That will be the last battle. But so, okay, so the way we're going to do this Kahuna, I've kind of described it already. But the way we're going to do it is we're going to start with Noibat. Noibat is going to use Gust once against the Machop. If we do more than 50%, we should be good to stay in. But I'm not sure that we will either way. The reason is because we need to be able to survive a pursuit from the incoming Crabrawler. Cutiefly definitely will be able to survive at least one pursuit from the incoming Crabrawler. That I'm not worried about. We will check the damage calculations for all-out pummeling against the Cutiefly. Okay, we're going to save, and we're going to go take him on. Wait, did we give... I'm not sure that we gave... Did we do the citrus berry already? Okay, we did. We did. We did. Okay. Sorry, just making sure. Just crossing T's, dotting I's. Oh, okay, here we go. This is where I think we're going to lose this run. We are going to have to get a lot of luck on our side in order to win. So let's see how it goes. We've spent about 4.5 hours at this point getting here. So let's hope that it goes well. But we shall see. Okay, Boron. This will be the first time if Noibat is actually useful, this will be the first time that I have ever seen Noibat be particularly useful in a Nuzlocke. Let's see how much this does. Oh my God. So much damage, dude. So that's kind of what we wanted Noibat to do. Okay. We really need Draining Kiss to kill here. I think Draining Kiss, my guess is Draining Kiss always kills here, but I'm not actually certain that that's true. Okay. Okay. So if the Makuhita comes out, this becomes more, this is now more complicated because I never Makuhita versus Cutie Fly. Cutie Fly is level 16. Makuhita is level 15. I need to find my stats. Cutie Fly has a special attack of 27. Draining Kiss is a guaranteed two-hit KO. What moves? So this has Fake Out, so the assumption is that it's going to start with Fake Out. Um, so I think the better way to approach this, I'm guessing the better way to approach this is try to use Percy here. Because I don't think we ever worry about Percy getting hit by any of these. I'm not sure yet. Whoa, whoa, that did nothing. Okay. I did not expect that to do that little. Okay, good. That's kind of what I want. So we want to go use Cutie Fly again. So Cutie Fly is good here. We're hoping that he chooses to use Arm Thrust. Sand Attack again. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. We just need to not miss. And Draining Kiss may not be able to miss. Okay. I forget if Draining Kiss ha bypasses accuracy checks. Fairy Wind doesn't. Draining Kiss doesn't. Okay. So we're at about 50-50 chance to hit. And we did. Okay. So Makuhita's down. So at this point, what we have to do is kill this Brawler. So I think, I think the best choice is to do this. I don't know though. Um, the problem is that I'm not sure what. Okay, so that's what we want. We want him to hit Pursuit because we can always live a Pursuit, and Pursuit we're not concerned about. Here is where we are concerned. So he should want to use all out pummeling here. I want to hit him as much as possible. But what we need to figure out, we need to calc this one more time because I don't think I calced this correctly last time. Brawler is level 16. He's going to use um, Power Up Punch as a Z move, and he's going to use Pursuit. Wow, All Out Pummeling does legitimately nothing to Cutie Fly. Is that the better way to do this? Is that just bait All Out Pummeling? I'm I'm gonna try this. This may be really stupid. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he's going to use All Out Pummeling. Supposedly, according to damage calculator, this should do very, very little to me. How fast is he? 30? Does he outspeed me? What moves does he have? Leer. Okay, so this could be my error. Okay, it's not. Great. Okay. Okay. This should be very good. Um, okay, so we're gonna Draining Kiss. We move first. We outspeed. Okay, this should be free. There is nothing that this Brawler can do at this point that should be able to kill us faster than we can kill it. Um, so this should be good. So we won. And we have Figured out that Cutiefly is another really good Pokemon for the first island. Okay, great. So that went well. We're gonna get our Litten to evolve. So we're not out of the woods. Island 2, so Island 1 is very hard. Island 2 is slightly less hard, but still very hard. In some ways, it is harder, but you get a lot more Pokemon to encounter. But basically, we're just at this point, it's all about strategizing for each of the battles. Um, but yeah, we got through Island 1 on the first try, which I was not convinced that we would. Percy has evolved, and we are just going to finish this last cutscene, and then we will save and we'll call it a day. But yeah, I'm really pleased with us getting through that battle. I It's good to know that I did not quite realize that Cutiefly hard countered the Crabrawler as well as it does. So it's good to know for the future. Um, Cutiefly using Furfrou to bait all-out pummeling and going back to Cutiefly. So I think Furfrou, according to the calculations, can probably live an all-out pummeling into a pursuit. The problem is that I think the pursuit is going to be a little risky because it's going to do double damage on the switch. And you don't want to get pursuited while you're switching. I don't know if the AI would like choose to do um like if the AI would choose to do that over power up punch next, but yeah, it's good not to risk it. Especially when all out pummeling does like 11% to Cutie Fly. That's perfectly fine. But okay. Yeah, so I think what we learned from this is that Furfrou hard counters Ilima. So if you're lucky enough to get Furfrou, you can counter Ilima and survive. Um, Psyduck plus Furfrou counters the Raticate, and then Cutiefly plus Furfrou, and probably Cutiefly alone, but we know that Furfrou makes it a two Pokemon combo. Cutiefly plus Furfrou counters the Kahuna. That's good. Good to know. Good to learn more strats and know what things work and what things don't for future playthroughs, because I can assure you that we are not going to first time beat Ultra Moon Deathless. That is very unlikely. Okay. And I think with that, so now that we beat him, we get Tauros as like a usable Pokemon to ride on. And that allows us to, number one, move throughout the overworld faster. And it also lets us break some boulders and get access to two more encounters, as well as getting a Z crystal for flying type moves, which is super important for us to more easily or give us a better chance at beating trial number two. So trial number two is hard. Um, I think all three of the trials on Island 2 are very difficult trials, but I think they're doable with the Pokemon that we have and with the few more encounters we'll get. But that is it for this run. Thanks for sticking around for an extra long episode. I just kind of figured that we could get through Island 1, and so I thought we'd take the extra time to do so. But yep, having fun. Glad that we are kind of cruising through at the moment and hoping that Island 2 is as smooth sailing as Island 1 was. Okay, thanks so much everyone for coming. I guess if you don't know me and you've just stumbled across the video somehow, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, and comment about things that you think I could do better in terms of like playing Pokemon or vlogging or whatever. But yeah. Okay. See ya.